Today we're going to be learning how to turn your base from this into this. In Planet Crafter, the number one thing you're going to want to do when building your starter base is make sure you have lots of room. It's so easy to be handcuffed by continually needing more space. It's better off if you just make a massive base from the start. The problem with this is we don't have pieces like the big living compartment, where you can make it out of small living blocks like this. Clearly you lose a lot of space on the connection pillar in the middle. So what we're going to do with our starting base is just use single living compartments, but put them in a row with modules coming off of it. So what do you need to know when planning out your first base? The number one thing is to build it in a good location. I recommend either the aluminium field or the iridium caves, as when you get your first ore extractor, they'll instantly be harvesting rare resources instead of just common ones. You'll also need lots of space. In the early to medium game, a lot of your machines will have to be built indoors, so you'll need room for this. You'll also need room for your storage area, which if you do it right, you should never need to rebuild again. It's important to remember later on you're going to get your hands on an auto crafter, so this is going to need to be placed near your storage area, but also hopefully nearby an ore extractor so it can continue working even without you placing resources directly into your storage area. You also need a space for your crafters, your screens, as well as any overflow storage that may not necessarily fit into one of your storage area crate. And then finally, perhaps the most important step, it's going to need to look good. So let's get on with building my first base so you can see how it all comes together. Okay, so this is going to be the basic layout of our base. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's basically just a line with 3 extra spaces coming off the end of it. We're going to have our storage space on the left. This means we can put our auto crafter in this little block right here, and we've also got space on the outside to put an ore extractor, which it can also grab from. So let's start doing a little bit of decoration. We're going to carry on decorating it later, but it's more important right now to get some of the important things on the inside. When building your storage area, you're going to want a minimum of 11 storage crates. You might have noticed that there's no crate for ice. This is because once the world heats up enough, no more ice spawns in the world. However, you almost certainly will have a lot more items that you'll want in this area other than just the resources, so you should account for this. At the moment I've just got one other chest. Most likely change which way these are facing and have 2 on either side, and this is where I plan for my auto crafter to go. So I've just decided to do this right away because I figured it would be nice to have a window on the end here. I'm going to put all of my resources into the right storage crates and then we'll start decorating this place a bit more. Okay, we're doing pretty good on space. I'm not sure how I feel about the top floor. As for what we can use the roof space for, I'm going to stick some solar panels up. I'm not going to do it on this side because it wouldn't really make sense because the rock would be blocking the sunlight. It wouldn't actually in game, but it would look a bit weird if we put it there. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some solar panels up here. And then, I'm not sure. We can get a beacon and a satellite dish, but again, I think that would make more sense higher up. I think I like that. Yeah, we can still figure out what we can use this surface for later on, but I think we're just going to add some lights to it. And then that'll be the outside pretty much done, I think. I think this is pretty cool. We need to finish doing the inside, but I'm pretty happy with how the outside looks. Once we unlock the railings, we can rail up the top floor, the outside of the top floor, but I think this is how it's pretty much going to look now. Okay, I think I've got it to a point where I'm happy for it to be considered a early game base. So as you walk in, we got all of our screens here. We got a food grower, if you've got that ready yet. We have all of our resource chests. And in between the crates, we've got our vegetubes, so we can start getting some oxygen. This only works where we've got the windows at the end, because it makes a little bit more space. On these compartments, you can't quite fit them between, because the doors take up too much room. And then at the end, we've got our heating and our advanced crafter. The last thing left to do, for now, we'll just call it my first base. If anyone has any suggestions, we can change that. That's all for this episode. See you in the next one.